Before we begin, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more spine-chilling stories from history's darkest nights. Now, let's travel back to the year 1871. Chicago was booming, a young city filled with energy, dreams, and ambition. But beneath that growth lay a silent danger waiting to ignite. Nearly every structure in the city was made of wood: homes, shops, sidewalks, and even streets. It was a spark away from disaster. For weeks, not a single drop of rain had fallen. The air was dry, the ground cracked, and Chicago had become a tinderbox. In a small barn on DeCoven Street, an Irish immigrant named Catherine O'Leary tended to her cows that fateful Sunday night. Legend has it, one of her cows kicked over a lantern, setting hay ablaze. Whether true or not, what followed changed history forever. The flames spread rapidly, licking up wooden walls and leaping across rooftops with terrifying speed. Firefighters raced through the streets, but confusion struck. A telegraph error sent them to the wrong neighborhood. By the time they reached DeCoven Street, the fire had already swallowed an entire block and was still growing. Strong southwest winds turned the blaze into a raging inferno, tossing burning debris across the city like fiery comets. One by one, houses caught fire. Wooden fences carried the flames like fuses. The city was beginning to vanish in smoke. Families screamed and ran for safety, clutching their children, pets, and whatever little they could carry. Exhausted firefighters pumped water from failing hydrants. Soon, the water pressure dropped, and their hoses ran dry. By midnight, flames consumed downtown Chicago. The night sky glowed blood red as the city burned without mercy. Even grand landmarks like churches, hotels, and theaters collapsed in fiery ruins. Nothing was spared. The fire leapt across the Chicago River after burning through a bridge coated in tar. The unthinkable had happened. Desperate crews tried to halt the flames with dynamite, blowing up buildings to slow the fire's path. But the inferno laughed at their efforts. Explosions only fed the chaos and confusion. People knelt in the streets, praying for rain as walls crumbled and sparks filled the night sky. Some fled to the shores of Lake Michigan, wading into the cold water for refuge as the city burned behind them. The reflection of fire danced on the lake's surface. For miles, the skyline looked like the edge of hell. Smoke thickened the air. People coughed, gasped, and stumbled through darkness lit only by fire. The courthouse burned with prisoners still inside, their cries lost in the roaring wind. Law and order collapsed. Looters roamed, desperate souls searching for food or shelter amid the chaos. The firestorm devoured neighborhood after neighborhood. It moved faster than anyone could run. By dawn on October 9th, more than half the city lay in ashes. The once bustling Chicago was now a blackened wasteland. Smoke hung thick over the ruins. Silent streets stretched where homes once stood. The city was gone. Over 3 square miles were destroyed, and nearly 100,000 people were left homeless overnight. Families huddled in makeshift camps, clutching each other in disbelief, unsure where to turn next. The U.S. Army arrived, setting up tents and food stations to help the survivors of the unimaginable. Relief poured in from across America. Trainloads of supplies, clothing, and money arrived within days. Newspapers across the world told the same shocking headline: Chicago in ruins. Meanwhile, Mrs. O'Leary faced public hatred and lifelong blame, though no one ever proved she was at fault. The tale of the cow and the lantern became legend, but perhaps, just that, a legend. As smoke cleared, city officials faced a daunting question. How do you rebuild from absolute destruction? Architects, workers, and dreamers began rebuilding immediately. This time, with brick, steel, and vision. The fire's devastation sparked innovation. New building codes and safety standards changed architecture forever. Within a decade, Chicago rose again, stronger and prouder, a symbol of rebirth and resilience. Today, a small plaque marks the site where the O'Leary barn once stood, the spark that changed history. Tourists walk those same streets, unaware that beneath them once lay a city reduced to ashes. Modern Chicago's skyline, steel towers piercing the clouds, stands as a monument to human determination. The Great Fire was more than a disaster. It was the moment Chicago was reborn. The flames that once destroyed paved the way for innovation that defined the modern world. Over 300 lives were lost that night. Their courage and suffering shaped the city's soul forever. Survivors rebuilt their homes, their businesses, and their dreams, brick by brick. Within 2 years, Chicago was alive again, buzzing with construction and determination. From ruin came inspiration. The fire gave birth to the world's first skyscrapers. Today, the towering skyline of Chicago tells a story written in flame and steel. The city that burned refused to die. It rose higher, stronger, and more beautiful than ever. If you enjoyed this story, remember to like, share, and subscribe for more gripping tales from history's forgotten chapters.